Hi everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Mom's the Word. I'm Eva Danielle, and this is my son Gabe. Want to say hello?
Help!
That's Gabe for hello. And today we are going to be talking about our brand new NuWave Brio Air Fryer. Now, if you are like me, you've heard lots of great things about these air fryers. You can cook with little to no oil, you can bake, you can fry, you can roast, you can clean your house with it. Okay, I'm just kidding. You can't clean your house with it. But its claim to fame is that it's going to be healthier cooking and eating for your entire family. Now, if you're like me, you've got a picky little one on your hands. And we go through making French fries at least twice a day, every day. Ooh. And so I figured if we're going to do that, let's try to do it more healthy. So please, no judging. But yeah, at least he eats. So anyway, so we were able to snag one during our Black Friday shopping, which we rarely ever do, but it was such a great deal, we just couldn't pass it up. So I wanted to come back and share the results with you guys. So if this is something you've been interested in, thought about getting, but wasn't sure how it worked, be sure to continue to watch. And as always, we thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and telling a friend. And we'll see you in a couple seconds. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. So here's the front view of the box that the Power Air Fryer comes in, and on it you can see the Power Air Fryer as well as the items that come inside, and also it lists some of the features of using the machine. And here we have a back view of the box, and pretty much the same as the front view. It just shows a picture of the air fryer as well as some of the features of using the machine and all the included parts. So here we have everything taken out of the box. Of course, we have the power fryer, which is the largest item. We also have the frying basket, as well as the divider if you want to power fry 2 different items at the same time, and of course our instruction manual. So I just wanted to show you guys the amount of counter space is going to be needed once you put the machine totally together. And I also wanted to show you guys the top. It is digital, so you'll use these buttons to program for cooking. And here we are all ready to use our Power Air Fryer. So I'm just gonna start out doing something small. I'm gonna cook a small batch of fries for Gabe. And in case you're interested, the brand we use is Ore-Ida, and he likes the golden crinkle fries, and he likes them nice and crispy. So as I noted before, this is a digital machine, and I would like to say that the buttons are pretty sensitive to touch, and so you do not need to press hard before things start to kind of come alive and wake up. So I'm going to use the preheat function, and as the instructions stated, when you use the preheat function, it always preheats to 360 degrees Fahrenheit and 15 minutes time. But what I'm doing is I'm cooking frozen fries, and so the recommended temperature is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm using the temperature buttons and I'm pressing up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to keep the time at 15 minutes, and I'm going to press the start button in order to start the preheat process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it preheat, and then what's supposed to happen is it's going to beep when it's ready, and when it's ready I'm going to put the fries inside the fry basket. So now that the fries are in the basket, I'm going to close it up and I'm going to press the start button to begin the air fry process. As I said before, the recommended time is 15 minutes. However, because it's our first time using it, I'm going to eyeball it to see if we need more or less time. So I've had the fries in the air fryer for about 10 minutes, and I say 10 minutes because I actually ended up putting them in the air fryer before the preheating function was actually done. So that's where the additional 2 minutes came from. And so with 10 minutes of cooking time, here's what we have for this small amount of fries. They are crispy, they're brown, they're golden and done. And so about 10 minutes was all we needed for that small amount of fries, and not the recommended 15-minute time for frozen fries. So here the fries are all done. I've got them out of the air fryer, and I placed them on a napkin on top of a plate. And this is normally where I begin the blotting process to blot out any excess oil. And as you can see here, there is absolutely no oil to blot out. I only put them in the air fryer with no oil, and they are nice and crispy just like Gabe likes them. So up next, we're going to do the toddler taste test. Dun 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 dun. Is it good? We like our fries.
Hey, Red.
Hi everyone, and we're back. Just wanted to come back with a few quick takeaways of my initial impression of the NuWave Brio 6-quart power air fryer. Now I will say my initial impressions, I definitely give it a thumbs up. And although we just did French fries, it's very important to note that I'm thoroughly impressed because Gabe actually took to the fries. Now with him, he's super picky. There's very little that he can and will eat, and I say can because he does have food allergies, and I say will because he's a picky eater, and so he's very observant of when taste change of the things that he likes, and the fact that he took to these fries right away was a huge thumbs up for me. I didn't use any oil. I also didn't use any cooking spray on the wire rack as suggested by some users, so I used no oil at all, and the fries came out very warm, very crisp, and well done. Now I will say there is a slight difference in the taste that I can tell versus using canola oil like I normally use, but it's not huge at all. And so if you season them the way you normally do, then I think that, you know, after a while you won't be able to tell the difference at all. And of course, because you're not using any oil, it's definitely very healthy for you and your family. Some of the things I like to note is that when I did take it out the box, I followed the instructions in the instruction manual, because you guys know I'm a huge stickler for that, because you can actually learn quite a bit if you just read the directions. And I made sure that I washed all of the washable pieces in the top rack of my dishwasher. So there's the actual tray that the fry basket sits in, and as well as the frying basket. I washed both of those in the top rack of my dishwasher, and per the instructions, I took a damp paper towel and I wiped out the inside of the machine. So I did all that before I actually used it. And I guess they say to do that in order to help, you know, rinse out any residue that normally comes when you purchase a new appliance. So I did that. The second thing I like to note is I did use the preheat option. And when you do preheat, it's automatically going to heat to 360 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to time at 15 minutes. Now, per the instruction for frozen fries, it said to heat it to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So I just used the arrows and I put it to 400 degrees. Now, with the 15 minutes, I would say just make sure that on your initial use, whatever you're cooking, whatever the suggested time is, put that on the timer, but make sure that you eyeball it, because although the time suggested was 15 minutes, I let the fries power fry for about 8 to 9 minutes, and as you saw in the video, they were well done, they were crispy. So had I gone the full 15 minutes, obviously they would have burnt. So until you kind of get used to how long and how your particular items are going to cook in your power air fryer, just make sure that you keep your eye on it versus just letting it go the suggested full time. And so that way you won't run the risk of burning and ruining your yummy food that you were probably going to be really excited to eat. Another thing I like to note is that because it was brand new, you kind of do have that new appliance kind of smoky smell. It wasn't too bad, it wasn't too harsh, and luckily it didn't leave any type of odor or taste in the food. But I would like to note that that smell is there, and I would imagine after a few uses that smell will dissipate. So if you do smell it, if you get one brand new, don't be alarmed unless it starts smoking or something. But that kind of new appliance smell was indeed there. And like I said, I'm hoping that it will dissipate once we use it a few times. So although we used fries this time, and I wanted to start out small just to kind of get my feet wet and see how it will work, I am going to try using some small chicken wings, and so of course I will come back with an update with that and show you guys how that turned out and how the rest of the family enjoys it as well. But my initial impressions, I give it a thumbs up, and I would say it's something that maybe you can try as well. Last thing I like to note is that I bought the 6-quart version. I think that's the largest version of this one. However, they do have a 3-quart, and I've even seen some 2.5 quarts in other brands. And so if you have a medium to large size family like mine, we're a family of 5, I decided to get the 6-quart. and so that way I wouldn't have to keep I guess frying and redoing things if I wanted to make a larger meal. However, if you have a smaller size family or if you are individual, you can get one of the smaller versions, and so that way it can be proportionate in size to what you're actually looking for. And so like I said, we did the 6-quart, but they do have smaller versions of the NuWave as well as smaller versions of other brands as well. And I've seen all kinds of power air fryers that are out there, particularly during this holiday season. You can find a lot of them for a pretty decent price. So yeah, those are my initial takeaways. Like I said, my biggest critic in the house is my picky 2.5-year-old, and he gave the fries that we cooked a thumbs up, and that was really big for me. So I would say my initial impressions of the NuWave Brio 6-quart air fryer is that it gets a thumbs up. Make sure you read the directions. Read the directions, because you'll learn a lot from that. And yeah, if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you're thinking about trying one or you have any suggestions for recipes, be sure to put them in the comments below. And as always, I'll try my best to answer each and every one of them. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick takeaway of what we initially thought of the Power Air Fryer. And like I said, it's definitely a thumbs up. So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe this video, and share and tell a friend. And as always, we thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and we'll be sure to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.